We should be live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Oh, fuck, I should have got another beer.
Go get another beer.
Run, Ashtray.
Never fails. As soon as we hit the record button, somebody fucking has a potty break or something.
All right. Doing it live. All right. Well.
Just give me a second. I'm waiting for my daughter to.
Oh, we didn't know.
Whatever.
I was going to fill dead air by making fun of you. Yeah, right. All right, everybody, hold up. Daughter time.
Yeah, because his daughter is more important than Ashtray.
Yeah. Well, you know, when the audience, our members are hearing dead air, they think that we might all be having fucking cerebral palsy syndrome right now.
Well, shut up, sir. There is no dead air.
All right. In this episode of the Red Eye Report, we discuss imposters. We trip the light fantastic, and as usual, we fuck you till you bleed. With me this week is the all-seeing oracle, or should I say, William Sanders, the smooth-talking insurance salesman from Rhode Island, famous for fleecing old ladies out of their hard-earned SSI checks. I'm not saying they're the same person, but Oracle does have a lot of knitted items just strewn about his house. So,
yep, very warm.
Where'd you get those?
Very comfortable. Hey, old people love me.
From Mrs. Robinson.
Heck yeah, up the old biddy.
Next to him is the fluffy teddy bear. Teddy once posed as a rabbi. The ruse didn't last very long. Who knew cutting off a baby's foreskin was so hard? We've also got a soot-covered Ashtray. Ashtray doesn't have to be anybody else. He lives multiple lives in one weekend. Dancing whore, concerned older friend, mouth fucker, whatever the situation calls for. He's not the king of hipsters. He's a hipster chameleon. Last and least, I'm the mystic. I once tried posing as a doctor in a restaurant when a woman was choking. It failed miserably and she died, but she did have a nice rack. So this is the rack part.
Boom.
All right. Talking about imposters. People
First off, we're talking about
pause for the
I don't have an animal.
Oh, Christ, you obviously didn't check the fucking memo.
I mean, really, bro. I did.
Yeah.
Shit.
It was Roxanne the rooster.
Yeah.
Decided to change genders.
Yep.
And got fucking the shit kicked out of him by all the other roosters. But Dane County loves him. Her. Roxanne.
Dane County loves them or they. Is that the best pronoun?
Yeah, I can't remember Roxanne's preferred pronoun now.
I don't give a fuck about pronouns, but I'm trying for a fucking rooster before I try for a human being. And that
You're no longer like Bacock.
I've never been so offended in my life.
Yeah, I know. All right. Imposters. We're going to skip. I mean, there's been a lot of people who have said they were other people throughout history. And it was obviously way easier back in the day when you didn't have the fucking internet and databases.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And like fingerprints and shit. So like, we're going to skip over a lot of that shit because it's just, a lot of these are like, oh, some English woman pretended to be the princess from a fictional island in 1791. Like, I give a fuck about that bitch. So we're going to skip on right past them.
Dead to us now.
A couple of these I did find actually interesting, though. There have been a lot of military imposters, which blows my mind because it's just easily checked. Brian Dennehy, the actor. You guys
What?
remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he enlisted in the the United States Marine Corps in 1958, served in Okinawa, and never saw combat, but later falsely claimed to have been wounded in action in the Vietnam War.
Really?
Oh, that fucking pussy.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He was in Okinawa. He wasn't
that's
even in
kind
the
of
fucking
crazy.
Vietnam
I mean, that's
War.
a pretty long span of time between those two things, too.
Right.
He must have
Yeah.
been like fucking drunk or high or something. That's just like a wild claim.
Stolen valor.
Yeah. Frank Dukes, you know who that is? The guy who the movie Bloodsport
guy
was based
Yeah.
off of?
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
the
all
Canadian
bullshit.
American martial artist. He claimed in his memoir, The Secret Man, that he had fought in covert Central Intelligence Agency special operations in Southeast Asia, Nicaragua, the Iran-Iraq War, and the Gulf War. And they're all completely false. He served in the United States Marine Corps Reserve in non-combat roles.
And also, when they to learn from was when he was like the last descendant of like a ninja clan.
Well, this guy sounds like a huge bullshitter.
And so they made a movie. They made a movie off of it.
Movie, man, that movie's incredible with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
After years after he came out, he was a bullshitter. But yeah,
Whatever, it was worth it. We got a great movie out of it.
Yeah, right. All right, so I'm gonna move right on for those fucking plebe fucks. Right to actually, let's start with this fucking dude. So, I still don't really get this one. I guess this is how a phony 18th century chess robot fooled the entire world.
Robot. Steam powered.
In early 1826, one of Europe's most celebrated chess masters arrived in New York for his American debut. The event was widely touted in news articles and advertisements, and some 200 people later turned out for the first exhibition matches at Broadway's National Hotel. It was between him and a machine called the Turk. The Turk had first appeared in 1769 in the court of Maria Theresa, the Empress of Austria-Hungary. So basically what it was this machine, and I never put a picture. I thought I put a fucking
illustrations
picture.
of it.
Fuck.
Well, I'll try to find
If you open that link up, the History Channel one,
yeah,
there's a picture right at the top of what it looks like. So basically it was like the top half of a robot. It was like a dude, but it was robotic.
Oh, that's not an actual person?
No. And there's like
the
gears
fortune
and
teller?
shit. Yeah, exactly. And underneath, they would like open the cabinets underneath and show all the gears and shit, showing that there was no human inside. But really, it was a false. Behind it was the human. There was a false back. So they would have a chess master in there,
crammed in the back.
Yeah, basically, and he had to operate the arms and shit
with levers and shit
of the fucking levers. Yeah, to like move the pieces and shit, because it moved its own pieces and it knew what they were playing. You know what I mean? So obviously, like it
somehow
actually,
from the bottom, he has to be able to tell.
Completely dumbfounded
you could do
everybody that saw it.
Yeah, you can do a periscope.
No, he was like in the fucking machine behind the fucking.
Well, I get that. Okay. So they had a.
So he was above it. He could see it. Yeah.
He could see it. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was like a kind of a periscope thing because he was behind something, so he had to have kind of like a periscope system.
Oh yeah, no, I thought he was crammed in the box.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, it actually played at one point in 1838. It played, or no, was it 18? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It played Napoleon. And Napoleon tried to make several illegal moves, and it called him out on. It just went, no.
Napoleon, of course, he's gonna make illegal moves.
Yeah, right. And Napoleon lost, obviously. Because basically, it was like they would pay these chess masters to go into this thing and play exhibitions against other chess masters who didn't know that this was a fucking guy. playing as a fucking, as a dude. So it played Edgar Allan Poe at one time. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter. So for like 65 straight fucking years, this thing like befuddled
everyone
world. From like New York, Paris, London, fucking all over the place, dude.
Is there a list of the masters that they used that were okay with doing this? Because that's kind of
no, because when the guy died in 1858 or something like that, like he kind of died with the fucking with it all. Yeah,
okay.
He died with it.
Because I'm curious, like how many masters at the time, or how many people wanted to be masters were okay with this, with lying to people, and how much did they pay him off for this?
Well, I'm sure they paid him quite a bit of money.
I mean, I'm sure they paid him, but I mean, it's a.
That's true. They didn't have to worry about their fucking social media cred.
I mean, yeah, I could try to play this guy or this guy, and if I lose, and nobody knows it's me, kind of thing, and try to learn some shit.
So, all right. So this one also kind of blows my mind. Billy Tipton was born December 29th, 1914, died January 21st, 1989. He's an American jazz musician, band leader, and talent broker. Tipton lived and identified as a man for most of his adult life, but when he died, they found out he was a woman.
Which is nothing wrong with that nowadays. But back then, shame on you.
Here's the part that I don't know that I still get. Tipton was never legally married, but 5 women called themselves Mrs. Tipton during his life. In 1934, Tipton began living with a woman named Earl Harris. That's her name. So she was probably
that was a guy pretending to be a woman.
Yeah. So the relationship ended in 1942. Tipton's sex was reportedly concealed from the 4 women, who would later call themselves Mrs. Tipton. Tipton kept the secret of his extrinsic sexual characteristics from them by telling them he had been in a serious car accident that resulted in damaged genitals and broken ribs.
Okay.
Wow.
So he lived with one woman for 18 years.
They can do a lot.
So like I get maybe back in the 50s,
they can.
Like 50s, like couples didn't really get naked in front of each other a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, some of them did.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's
like how did he pull this off?
Right.
Were these just lesbians? You know what I'm saying? Was this just an early 1950s version of like a dyke lesbian fucking?
Yeah, and they just couldn't talk about it.
First person to create the strap on, but she couldn't patent it.
Because lesbians have been around since the dawn of time.
It would have been out. So, I mean,
but this dude was a legit jazz musician.
Oh yeah,
playing fucking trumpet and shit.
Yeah.
For many years, like 50-something years, identified as a man, lived a life as a man, and nobody fucking had any idea. That to me is fucking, it blows my mind. Anyway,
blows my mind.
On to the king of them all. Well, actually, before that, we all remember Frank Abagnale, right? The movie that was
the movie Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that dude, he lied about a lot of his shit. I didn't put him in here because I was gonna talk about him, but like, he lied about a lot of what he did. Like he was a not a money launderer, check fucking fraud.
Check fraud.
Dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the most part, he did pose as a pilot, but he got caught pretty quickly. So like
really?
It was just all embellished. Yeah.
So he didn't actually like fly a plane or anything?
Yeah.
I think he did once or twice, but I'm pretty sure they caught him pretty quick.
Okay,
I mean,
well, still, pull it off once or twice. That's something.
Right. Okay, well, it's nothing compared to this motherfucker right here. Ferdinand Waldo de Mara. He was known as the Great Imposter. There was a movie made starring Tony Curtis called The Great Imposter after later in his life. He died in 1982, was born in 1921. Just listen to this list. DeMara's impersonations included a civil engineer, a sheriff's deputy, an assistant prison warden, a doctor of applied psychology, a hospital orderly, a lawyer, a child care expert, a Benedictine monk, a Trappist monk, a naval surgeon, an editor, a cancer researcher, and a teacher.
Wow.
Well, some of those I could see being easy, but
Yeah.
holy
was
shit.
10.
They don't know for sure, but he was said to possess. They almost positive he had a photographic memory with a super high fucking IQ.
I mean, how much? I mean, like to be an assistant warden, you had to be inside the prison. I mean, how much balls do you have to have?
We'll do this.
Okay.
So he was born in Massachusetts in 1921. His dad was born in Rhode Island. They grew up in that area. So early in the Great Depression, Fred's father became financially insolvent. So they had to move. They were kind of well off, I guess. Not super well off, but they had money. So they had to move into like fucking, the fucking Tower Hill neighborhood, whatever the fuck that means. I'm sure it was the ghetto at that time in Massachusetts. During the financially troubled time, he ran away at 16 and he joined the Trappist monks in Rhode Island. After 2 years, he was told he wasn't suited to being a Trappist and was sent instead to a Brothers of Charity home near Montreal, Canada. He was then transferred to a Brothers of Charity boys home in West Newbury, Massachusetts, where he taught 4th grade. I don't understand that. This dude was like 16, so he's 18 at this time, and he's teaching 4th grade.
He's like, I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 4th grade math back then was like
1935.
Yeah. You probably didn't have to have any type of
yeah. I mean, yeah,
Right.
degree.
there was no algebra in 4th grade. My
So
son was doing
you're
algebra.
willing to put up with these little shits?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is just like his early life. In 1941, he joined the United States Army. The following year, DeMauro began his new lives by borrowing the name of Anthony Ignolia. It was an army buddy of his, and then he went AWOL. So the dude basically, DeMauro disappeared
Took off.
from the fucking. He's now called Ignolia. He joined the Abbey of Our Lady of Gethsemane. I don't even know how to say that. A Trappist monastery in Kentucky under his assumed identity. However, he met an acquaintance from his first Trappist monastery, so he had to fucking duck out of there before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Shit.
he was. Yeah.
He then moved to the New Mellery Abbey near Dubuque, Iowa. Now, again, this is 1941, so like, there's no social media, there's no databases, fucking
Right.
fingerprints. You could just fucking say you're anybody at this point.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they never caught him. He then joined the Navy under this other assumed name, where he trained as a hospital corpsman. He did not reach the position he wanted, faked his suicide, and borrowed Robert Linton French, and became a religion-oriented psychologist. Dr. French then presented himself at the New Subiaco Abbey, a Benedictine monastery in Arkansas. So after various other fucking religious monastery places he's gone, blah, 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 he served as an orderly in a Los Angeles sanitarium. This is a few years later. So he's been through these fucking monasteries everywhere, right? And he served as an instructor in St. Martin's College, which is now a university in the state of Washington. So the FBI, by this point, actually captured him because he had like 4 or 5 different pseudonyms and all these different jobs and monasteries and fucking places. At one point, he taught general psychology, industrial psychology, and abnormal psychology, and published a well-received booklet titled "How to Bring Up Your Child." Not in Erie, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Holy shit!
He was made the dean of the School of Philosophy in Erie, Pennsylvania, at the Gannon.
Okay.
Wow.
The dean.
Yeah. So
Nobody else want the job? What?
What was the guy's name again? When he wrote the book, the children's book or whatever, psychology book. What was his name?
What?
Ferdinand
Freud?
Waldo. What are you talking about?
Yeah, which one are you talking about, Teddy?
Well, you said he wrote a children's book about a psychology book about how to bring up your child. So I
Yeah,
was
Waldo
curious.
Demara, the same guy we were talking about.
I was curious if I could find that book.
Oh, I don't know what it would be under. because it was a different name.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to
soon.
keep it straight.
Right.
Yeah, when you're lying.
Yeah, just,
all the
I was
time.
curious what name he wrote the book under, but
It doesn't actually say. It just said while he was at that place, he wrote it. So somehow he eventually befriended a Canadian surgeon named Joseph Cyr, CYR. This led to his most famous exploit, in which he masqueraded as this guy working as a ship's doctor aboard the HMCS Cayuga, a Royal Canadian Navy destroyer during the Korean War.
Wow.
He managed to improvise successful major surgeries and fend off infection with generous amounts of penicillin.
yeah, that guy he's from the future.
His most notable surgical practices were performed on some 16 Korean combat injuries who were loaded into the Cayuga. All eyes turned to Damara as several men needed urgent surgery. After ordering personnel to transport them to the ship's operating room and prep them for treatment, Damara disappeared to his room with a text on general surgery and speed read the steps for the procedures that lay ahead, including major chest surgery.
What?
All 16 survived.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, this guy must have been smart as fuck.
He was a
Holy
fucking-
shit.
He was a straight up fucking photographic memory fucking genius.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, basically, blah blah blah. That was his most famous thing. He eventually got caught in 1959. Or no, it was before that. 56. He got caught. 59. He sold his life story to Life magazine. And after that, he literally tried. I mean, people knew who he was at this point in the late 50s, in 1959. People knew that this guy was a fucking imposter. Like, he had all these different pseudonyms, and his real name was Damara. But he still literally tried to fucking come up with other pseudonyms and like live other lives. So he possessed fake credentials so he could get a job at a prison in Huntsville, Texas. According to his biographer, Damara's past became known and his position untenable. So he lost that job. In 1959, he appeared on the game show hosted by Ernie Kovacs, Take a Good Look. So the object was one of the three celebrity panelists to guess his identity, which obviously they didn't.
Yeah.
So appeared in another show called Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx. I actually saw that interview. It's pretty funny. Like, Groucho Marx is kind of pissed at it because dude's kind of a sanctimonious asshole. But
Yeah.
he continued to use aliases for his entire life until he died in the 80s, in 82. That's fucking blows my mind. He's just that smart.
Right. I mean,
He was the smartest dude in the fucking room.
he lied about who he was, but sounds like he wasn't like ripping people off or fucking
Right.
anything up. So it's just like, okay, whatever.
Think of what he could have achieved if he just tried to stick to one
And he
fucking
saved
thing.
lives. He fucking saved lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if you were that guy who had fucking chest surgery and it's like
And
My
you learned
chest-
about this, yeah.
my chest never fully healed right, you know, or it's like fucking crooked. My one pec sticks out 2 inches further than the other.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
My nipples all crooked and shit. No.
Yeah, right. My fucking wife left me.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean,
Why?
why you had to go there?
Well, if your chest is all fucked up, I'd leave you too.
Would you leave a chick because she's got 2 nice titties?
Don't ask me that.
Yeah.
You guys got any imposter stories?
No.
Yeah.
I pretended to be interested in fucking joining a fraternity when I was already like I was 21 and like done with my tech school and kind of vicariously lived through with my buddy who was like at freshman level, but he was 21 as well because he went to fucking Iraq. And we pretended another guy on his floor had, like was a part of one of the fraternities for the rush week. So like, yeah, just like bullshitting, like, yeah, just political science, maybe, blah, 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 for trying to pretend I'm not 3 years older than everyone there just so I can get the free steak dinner and try to see, like, what's it like? Like, how do they try to indoctrinate you?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bunch of fucking jerk off, like, here's all the philanthropy videos we do and blah, blah, blah. Needless to say, the steak dinner wasn't that fucking great.
What fraternity was it?
I can't remember, to be honest. I want to say Teak, but that was the one that Travis was part of, so it's like the first fraternity name that comes to mind. This is up here in Madison.
There was this woman when I was out in Rhode Island. She was one of these stolen valor people.
Oh, I remember that actually.
And I mean, she pretended to be an amputee, had like prosthetics and shit, and like went on all these retreats and stuff, and
like a fake prosthetic over a real limb.
Yep. And talked about
really?
Yeah, this
That's
is
some extra
deep,
shit,
dude.
That's extra shit. Yeah,
That's
deep
This was
fake.
like one of those,
Put on
but
a fucking...
she could not stop. And actually, even after she was busted and they were doing like federal charges against her, she like tried to like get her psychologist license or something. She was like this guy, like freaking very smart. Yeah. Maybe not that's as smart as that guy, but just could not stop doing this imposter thing.
Right.
They should have just became actors.
Well, I mean, at some point, yeah, absolutely, and that's
what they really
a lot
like.
of the shit that I read kind of said that people that have this personality type eventually nowadays become actors or get into arts because they can put themselves into different roles. You know what I'm saying? Get that out.
Right.
Huh. All right.
Sluts.
Teddy tried to be a fucking Scientologist one time.
I did. It was so scary. The only reason I got out of there because I had my gun and I was wearing my.
Did you have to flash it? Get the fuck up.
No, I didn't have my gun then. I never took off. I rode my motorcycle up there, and I had this like futuristic chest piece looking with the spine thing. It's all I wore, and I never took it off. And I was like, I hope it's bulletproof.
They probably love that. They're like, oh, it's Xanadu or whatever, or he's a follower of fucking...
Yeah.
I have come from the stars to learn about your Lord. Yeah. It was terrifying. The chick I had to talk to was hot as fuck, though.
Yeah.
That's how they get you, dude.
I was going to say, I'm sure they didn't put her in that fucking position because she was hot, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess me and my buddy infiltrated that quinceañera that we thought was actually a fucking wedding by just putting on dress shirts and just like,
you infiltrated a girl turning 15.
I mean, that's kind of suspect.
Mexican girl turning 15.
No,
really?
I mean, it was all the Southern Belles.
That's kind of fucked up, right?
Something cotillion. I'm sorry, not quinceañera.
Okay, a cotillion.
Sorry.
Get those words right.
Some of them were Hispanic.
Get them right.
Yeah, no, it was at that big fancy hotel down in Memphis.
I'm worried about you. You said no wonder you're getting fucking like
FBI
porn traps and shit. FBI porn traps. You fucking infiltrated a quinceañera. Fucking
yeah. No, man, we would have been caught right away at a quinceañera. The cotillion. Sorry, guys.
What the fuck are you here for, Holmes?
I just all of a sudden realized, like, wait a minute, why are me and my buddy the only ones with fucking drinks?
Why the fuck are you and your buddy the only one fucking Mexican?
Because everyone's
Mexican.
I'm like, this isn't a wedding. I asked some guy, like, what is this? This guy's like, it's a cotillion. He was like a college kid dating a fucking 16-year-old, you know? And it's like,
wow.
I mean, we had some interesting conversations, but all of a sudden it made us realize, like, no wonder I was like, why are they so strict about checking our IDs for drinks? I'm like, fucking busting my balls.
Right?
We thought we were going to a wedding.
You're a bad person.
They're like, this is
You're
fake.
a bad
This
person.
has to be fake.
I'm curious. I'm not always bad.
All right. Anyway, all right. Well, now we're moving on to the what's sexy. It's where we tell you what's sexy. Oracle, do you believe in love?
So, Jordan Love. We just had a game where the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And
Was that tonight?
no, that was last week.
Yeah, no.
On Sunday.
Fucking Sunday night.
And I
Glorious.
mean, I'm fucking like, if the season stopped right now, I'm happy with
right.
how things have gone this season. It's just like, okay, it was looking pretty bleak for a while there, but they really have turned things around. And just, it was cool watching that game and just being surprised and being like, holy fucking shit. Like, you're really seeing kind of like, you know, in retrospect, you see like when Rodgers had like his big, or Brady, you know, when Brady went in for Bledsoe and things like that. Like, you kind of see that, and I don't know if it's going to pan out that way, but it was like, this is not just, you know, dumb.
You
luck.
watched them. You watched them grow over the
Yeah,
last
made it
12
fun.
games.
Yeah,
You know
it was
what I'm
pretty
saying?
cool.
Like,
I mean,
they went from disorganized to actually playing like a team. Like, you see that they know what they're doing. Like,
Right.
they get the playbook now. So
Well,
I think they're going to be all right. I
Yeah.
mean, the Lions are still going to kick the shit out of them. But
Well, my thing is, you take these kids that are top at college, and you hear that there's a reason why the option doesn't work in fucking in the pros like it does in college. The game is so much faster and shit. The people are so much stronger, and you throw these kids into this shit and hoping they're as good as they were in college. And a lot of people only give them like 6 games, or you know, even less than that, depending on how good the team is. Especially if you go into a team who lost a great quarterback, or going to a team where they've been shitty for so long, they finally get a good player, and you, especially a quarterback, and they hope they're going to bring that team up. And when that shit doesn't happen in the first 3, 4, 5 games, they kind of write that person off, and you got to give them time to, you know, grow and develop and shit. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to give them, like, yeah, Jordan Love was like, people were talking mad shit about Jordan Love in the first fucking, you know, first half of the season, and now like they have a general. I'm a Lions fan. I'm glad we're doing this good, you know, after so long. But I know that game is going to be a slog. It's going to be hard for us to beat him.
he's been in the league for 3 years. I think that's why people gave him so many games.
Right, but
because if you look like a rookie quarterback that comes in like C.J. Stroud, that dude has no expectations. He's a pure rookie. You know what I mean?
He didn't play
Jordan
any
Love,
the first year. In the second year,
it doesn't matter. He got to watch a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback play.
Yeah, he watched.
He learned what not
also.
to do, and he also played preseason. He fucking practiced. He should have come out better than he did, in my opinion.
Yeah,
okay,
but
that could
you
be
know,
coaching. That could be coaching too. You know,
and I mean, it's the whole team. They have the youngest team in the league,
working with the whole team.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's fucking cool. It's just like, okay, hell yeah, you know, whatever happens, I think they definitely deserve to make the playoffs, and they will make the playoffs this year. Who knows what they'll do once they get there?
It's not for certain yet, is it?
No,
it's not for certain, but they have a pretty easy schedule for the rest of the season here, so they should be able to make the playoffs. And I think they definitely, you know, they deserve to be there. And it's just like, well, fucking A, going from this huge dynasty quarterback to this unknown situation and starting over with the kind of rebuilding this team, that's a pretty good outlook. And look what's going on in the New York City with the Jets. It's just Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, that didn't work out.
Isn't he teasing now? He might be back in end of December or something.
Yeah, why would they even bring him back though?
They can't make the playoffs.
Well, that's the thing. Was that just Aaron Rodgers trying to like
that's Aaron
his own fucking, because his cachet in the public eye right now is just fucking dead. Like,
right.
It's as fucked as his leg. But I just saw the news cycle was literally like maybe a week ago. We're like, oh, is Aaron Rodgers going to?
Yeah. Well, he's got to have some sort of relevancy in the media.
Like, is that just him posting?
That shit,
right.
Yeah.
Word. Teddy, Mario RPG remake.
Mario RPG remake. Roll that beautiful bean footage. I started playing this back on the SNES. The main reason I started playing it back then is because Nintendo they had all the SquareSoft games. It was SquareSoft back then. They all the JRPGs on there, and they tapped in to make this game. It is also the precursor to Mario, Paper Mario. But I didn't get into it back then.
So many
with the new update, it's so many Marios. Yes. But this new shit is I love the graphics. I love the fucking the RPG gameplay. They added some things. They changed other things. But it was a solid JRPG that I didn't give a chance back in the day. I played, like I said, I played a little bit of it, and then I didn't play any of it. But there's also a lot of other JRPGs on there to play. Story is great so far. Gameplay is tight. The leveling up is awesome. It's a solid RPG. And I'm sorry I didn't give it much time. What's the smirk for, Oracle? Did you play back in the day?
Yeah, I actually played through that.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, back in the day. It's a good game. The graphics look great. Like, it's nice. I was just scratching my balls. That's what my
okay.
was about.
They updated the music with a full orchestra. You can choose to play with the old SNES, music if you want. But if you like RPGs, like I kind of want to go back and play the original on the emulator now because what I missed back then and see the real comparison. But yeah, check it out.
Boom.
Boom.
Split.
Boom, boom.
Ashtray.
Another boom.
Mouse face.
Mouse face, yeah. Time Magazine's Cat of the Year.
I like her pussy on the cover.
Taylor Swift was
the cat.
Person of the Year.
Of course.
Which also was like, Time knows that like this is what we need right now. Fuck the Israel-Hamas war. Let's go to Taylor Swift.
Any ideas? You have any idea how many people are going to buy those issues? Yeah.
Yeah. Compared
all those
to
little
like
Swifties are buying 20 copies.
If they made Netanyahu or some dumbass,
Right.
I think one of the things too was Trump's defense lawyers, Person of the Year. Like,
oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
How dumb is that?
Yeah, I like some of the options were completely stupid, but I do have to say, like, if I see this out in the newsstands, I'm gonna buy a couple of copies of this and turn them into lighters.
The thing is as much as I hate her, it's not because of her. It's because of the people that fucking blow her out of proportion.
Yeah.
But her fucking, she literally boosted every economy she went into playing these shows. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot. She made a lot of fucking money.
The Chiefs game.
And in turn, a lot of people made a lot of money because of the bonuses she gave. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
She got 50% of all those ticket sales for that movie because there was no studio. Actually, 45 went to the local theater itself, and then 55% was split between her and AMC. And she got more than AMC direct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Even if even if she got 25 of that 55 instead, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
25% of fucking $600 million or whatever the fuck it made. Like, that's crazy. She didn't do shit. She did the tour. All they did was film it.
They filmed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's just extra on top of what she fucking made off the tickets.
She did pay for the entire, she fronted all the money for all the production too, because there was no studio involved.
She got that back before the 25% too.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? So.
This thing is like almost where you could see the and with this tour being the Eras tour and it's all these albums, it's kind of like this is a fucking crescendo. She better just go fucking quit winners, start knocking out. Maybe that's her plan. Her and fucking Travis Kelce are going to start knocking out babies and being like this, Americana couple. Because as far as like a career high note, like she's kind of at it right now.
Yep.
Like
until people find out she has a torture dungeon with fucking little Thai boys.
Right. Or she's like Lizzo and makes people eat bananas out of pussies in Amsterdam.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that.
Lizzo sounds fun.
Yeah. Right.
The Lizzo canceling is great.
She sounds fun, but she looks terrifying.
It's kind of crazy that
she does look
there isn't an element that is trying to take her down, or at least it doesn't seem like there's an element that's trying to take her down.
That's the thing too. There's this whole article. I guess this is the first time I haven't read it, but they were saying she hasn't actually given any interviews for the last 4+ years. And I think a lot of it was that fucking Kim Kardashian. Kanye, like when they released that recording that they were like talking to her on the phone and implied that like she was okay with him saying that like
Anything that Kanye
oh,
says.
whatever. I can't remember what Kanye said in one of his rap songs. Anyways, it was something about
Maybe
like me and
can't really
Taylor are
stop
gonna
it,
date.
so.
I made that bitch famous. I think he said, or something like that. And they're
You
like,
should
"Oh yes,
kiss
he
a
said it was
picture
cool."
of Hitler every morning.
Yeah, now look
Yeah.
where Kanye's gone. He's gone to Nazis, and Taylor Swift is person of the year.
Kanye is fucking piece of shit.
You know, he's like, man, he wishes he had Taylor Swift money
Hey,
right
hey,
now.
bro, the George Bush doesn't like black people shit was hard. That was the hardest shit.
That was. Yeah, he's had his moments. Don't
George
get me
Bush
wrong. I still
doesn't
love a lot
care
of Kanye's
about
work.
black people.
I'll never fully write him off, but he wishes he had Taylor Swift money right now.
Oh yeah, well, who
doesn't?
doesn't?
Yeah.
He's got
Bam.
12 Lamborghinis. He still has Taylor Swift money, or close to it. He's fine.
All right. I'm going to talk about Geddy Lee, bass player for Rush. Has a little show that he does on Paramount Plus called Our Bass Player's Human Too, where he goes and just talks to other bass players, famous ones. The first episode was Les Claypool. And the second episode was Robert Trujillo from Metallica and Suicidal Tendencies. And then some chick I don't know. And then the fourth one was Kristen Novoselic from Nirvana. And they don't really talk. I mean, they talk about music here and there, but it's mostly like he wants to see what they do in their spare time, like what other hobbies they have and shit. So like basically Les Claypool just took him fishing. You know what I mean? Like, because of course Les Claypool fishes. And does like a lot of outdoor shit, like excavating. He like bought an excavator and just started tearing down trees.
He's Canadian. He's gotta.
Geddy Lee's Canadian.
Oh, is he not Canadian?
Like Les Claypool's from California.
Okay.
He's
Never
from
mind.
like El Segundo, which is like, you know, the sticks of California. But and then Robert Trujillo. I've only seen the first two episodes, but they're pretty good. Robert Trujillo is he lives right in fucking Venice Beach, man. Like they went surfing, fucking watched one of his kids play a concert and shit. You know what I mean? Like Robert Trujillo was in the pit. Like they don't, you know what I mean? It's not fucking like, it's not like a music show, but they do talk about bass playing, which if you are a bass player is nice, but you don't need that.
Otherwise, fuck off.
Anyway, check it out.
Okay,
Or
so
don't.
before we continue, my wife about the what do you call it? The bitch we were talking about, the white bitch, the football player.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. Apparently, her and Beyonce, they do a great public job for public transportation. They pay extra dollars for the transit workers that do the extra work to get fans to and from the concerts.
Wow. Well, there you go.
That's cool.
Nice. That also helps the city like tolerate the
Right.
influx of that
Yeah,
insanity.
absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah, the influx of fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when she was having a concert here at Bridgestone, and it was like the Friday and Saturday night was one of our two busiest nights that week because they were just the Swifties were out.
Well, yeah, she had she used 97 semis,
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
and she gave each one of those dudes like fucking what was it, $250,000? Each one of the
100,000,
semi
something like
drivers,
that.
Really?
for 100
Damn.
grand. or
Yeah, their
something.
bonus
Yeah.
was like $100,000, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
it
awesome.
was 100 grand, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then,
that's
she gave everybody on the tour bonuses. That's crazy. That's fucking really cool. You know what I mean? Like I don't like her music, but good
It's
for
good.
her.
Yeah, it's also good PR
for her.
and for her entire like brand as well. But the closest thing I said to that was I was in Boston when Paul McCartney was playing.
Yeah,
What's the fucking stadium there in Boston? The ball stadium.
Fenway? Oh, the football, the Foxborough.
Well,
Oh, I thought it was a baseball
Foxborough's
stadium. I
not,
can't remember.
not in Boston.
Fenway is in
Fenway's
Boston.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
Fenway. Sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And man, the line, like 3 blocks of those semis that are exactly the same,
Yeah.
you know, and just see like we kind of heard some of the songs as we were walking around the area outside, but then at one point we got when it was like they were loading out and we had to drive by that operation. That's impressive. The orchestration to make all that fucking happen.
The orchestration is insane and shit like that. I was watching this behind the scenes thing of this fucking festival. that this dude was fucking taking the tour of. It's just nuts how many people are behind the scenes and shit like that. Like just the crew loading every band in, you know?
Oh yeah.
Fucking cool. Word. All right.
Sing.
Fuck what you think. This is where we tell you to fuck off. Teddy, college football playoff rankings.
College football playoff rankings. I
Fuck Alabama.
am a Michigan fan. I live in the South. I am so goddamn tired of these inbred yokels screaming SEC, SEC every goddamn year. When they're below 500 versus the other conference here, and it's not the first year it's happened. I believe Michigan's gonna beat the shit out of them. Well, not beat the shit out of them. It's Alabama. They're gonna beat them. But the fact that it's the first time in history that an undefeated, conference champion has not been allowed to be in this bullshit thing they call a playoff in college is fucking retarded.
Yeah. Well, it's all about fun.
I get that, especially when they beat three.
Well, Alabama brings in a lot more money than FSU.
I get that, and that's why they're doing it. That's why if they had, it's fucked up. They nobody planned on Georgia to lose, and when they did lose, they had to fucking they had to let in a team they beat both of the other two teams they're considering. I get that, but you have a I mean, it's just fucked up for these kids. That
I feel bad for Florida because they got fucked.
They got fucked. I mean, they lost. They lost
real bad.
They lost their starting quarterback, and they still won.
Right.
Like everybody wrote him off after the kid broke his fucking leg, and they still fucking won. I mean, give the kids what they. I mean, stop sucking Alabama's dick, and I am so tired of these fucking retards out yelling.
Stop sucking Alabama's dick.
I mean, really.
I don't know.
Well, he has a point, man. Alabama, the Crimson Tide football is like Yankees baseball.
I mean, yeah, it's
like Dallas Cowboys football. You know what I'm saying? Like they just automatically get that extra little bit because
like everybody loves them.
Yeah,
America's team.
In Bama's in the Yankees, in Bama and the Yankees case, it's everyone hates them. That's why people love it. I think more people hate those schools in those teams than
they're more the heel.
Yeah, they're the motivation I think is to see them lose, but they don't very often. So it's what pisses people off.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they're a good team, but they have a loss, and a conference champion does not. So I agree. It's just fucked up for the I will be tuning into the Rose Bowl.
Think about the kids
when Michigan beats the shit out of Alabama.
Think about the kids. I hope they do.
So I can hear these. So I can just wear all my blue and amazing blue and walk around with these retarded Southerners saying, "We'll get you next year." Yeah, fuck you, you inbred motherfuckers.
That's the spirit.
Wow. All right. Oracle procrastination.
Yeah.
See what I did? I did that right away for you.
Thanks. Because I need it. Because after the show, I'm going to be finishing up my final project for this semester.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I just procrastinated. I don't know. I just didn't give a fuck enough.
What do you have to do?
I have to make some firewall rules and tweak a network.
He's like write out a whole fucking operation kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. The class.
Due tomorrow?
Yeah. It's due at midnight.
Oh shit!
What in an hour?
I mean, yeah. Hey, I've been. It's not like I haven't been working on this at all. I gotta
kind of sound like you had.
It's like your taxes. I just gotta wrap it up.
I gotta wrap it up. I gotta put the. But the class just wasn't that like terribly interesting to me, and it just wasn't that engaging. I mean. It just didn't have my interest, and I was like, "Fuck! I don't want to work on this. I don't care about this."
Class all online, or
it's all on. All my stuff's online, but the thing is a lot of the stuff that I do, there's practical application stuff through like virtual machines, and you have these tasks that you do on this stuff, and this didn't have a whole lot of that. It was just kind of like, "Oh, here. Read these chapters in the book." It's like, dude, if I wanted to just read a book, I'd do that. Like,
right.
This isn't really.
That's why I hated college.
Yeah.
There's the theoretical shit. Give me hands-on all day, man.
Right. Yeah. And my brain nowadays, like, I feel like maybe in my undergrad or whatever. Well, plus I wasn't working full time and didn't have a fucking baby at that time either.
Right.
You know, it's just like I don't have time for this shit. Like,
Yeah, your attention span. Fuck reading this book.
Right. So I don't know.
I gotta play some fucking.
It'll be fine. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have procrastinated.
I sometimes get that way where it's like I need the fucking deadline to make me grind. Oh shit!
That's pretty much what online school is. They have to. There's no really hands-on with the teacher. You have to wait for them to respond with an email or something. So you pretty much are reading the text yourself and doing the assignments. So
yeah, and I mean I'm fine, especially if it's like practical application stuff where it's like, okay, yep, here's the thing, you got to find this thing or whatever. Like my next class,
figure out the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
My next class is like all hacking shit. So it's just like, okay, hack into this fucking shit. Like, all right,
Nice.
Cool. I can do that. And
Right,
that's fun. That's cool.
Teach me your ways, master.
But actually doing it. Don't just fucking tell me about it. I don't need that fucking Will Smith Cuckosaurus fucking lesson.
Why you got to bring Will Smith into it?
I got to get in there, man.
I don't know. You got to bring
that poor man. He's had too many dates. Let him heal.
Ashtray doesn't have anything, so I'm gonna go. I'm not your personal slave, Megan.
If I pay for you, you are.
I came into work today late. It was my fault for being late, but still. As soon as I sit down, the digital web chick, it's fucking annoying as shit. She's like, I can hear her voice. She's like, "Hey, Larry." And I was like, "Oh my God, here we go." She's like, "Are you busy right now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm late, so I'm behind. So yeah, I'm busy." It's exactly what I said. She pauses for about 2 seconds and continues to explain what she needs me to do. Right? So I let her finish and I looked straight in her eye and I said, "I'm fucking busy. I'm not doing that." And she like got all fucking pissy and like walked away. Like, are you fucking kidding? You ask me if I'm busy. I say yes. And then you expect me to still do it? Go fuck yourself. Learn how to do this shit yourself. I'm not your fucking slave. I'm hired to do one job, and that's produce or to fucking cut the fucking 2 shows that I'm hired for. I'm not fucking doing your shit that needs to go on the digital fucking part of the web. You have people for that.
Right.
And because I'm the only one visible in the fucking newsroom as an editor, I'm the one that all of them come to. And I'm done doing it, dude. If I have to be a fucking asshole, I'm gonna be a fucking asshole because
I thought you already were an asshole.
Yeah,
I mean,
just shit your pants,
you sound
dude.
like
Nice.
someone that only a certain percentage of the newsroom appreciates and likes.
Dude, there's
The rest of them
only
are like, that Larry guy, he's really cranky.
I try to be nice until somebody fucking does something like that. You know what I mean? She didn't even listen to what I said. She just, "Are you busy?" And then just thought she was going to push off her fucking work on me. No, fuck you. Get your shit done.
Yeah.
Fucking bitch.
No, you should seriously like just get some like adult diapers and just fucking shit your pants. Like stare right in the eyes and fucking shit.
I am.
Yeah, go over that. You remember how Oracle finds that
Spider-Man.
line and shits across? That's one of those
Fucking
moves.
jerk off into my hand and just fling it at it.
Yeah, right. That's a fine way to lose your job.
You guys are taking this too far. I kind of say in professional business.
Yes.
It's a medical condition, dude.
No, what you have to
don't
do
discriminate.
No, I like my ties. If you fling shit at me,
I didn't
with
say
one of my ties on.
shit.
Steady.
Just shit
and
your
add
pants.
a little extra seething to your voice when you're like, "Yes. What do you want?" That's how you do it.
No. Ashtray, go.
I'm done with it. Oh, me? Fuck me. Yeah, I guess fuck myself.
And that's our show. We should
Yeah.
do it.
Pretty much. Fuck me for being a sexy devil. That's all. I don't know.
No, nobody said that.
Fuck you for being a sexy
I
devil.
want a second fuck you think because he is not a sexy devil. He's a man whore. And that's I want that on the record.
Tomato.
I mean, do you have to put the word man in there? Whore's a whore, right?
Whore's a whore, right? Yeah.
That's
There you
true.
go.
I can be gender fluid.
All right, in all
You probably
seriousness,
are.
go fuck yourself, everybody. That's our show. We're going to be here every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/the Red Eye Report. You can also, no, you can't. Like us, share us, and fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm missing.
I'm Oracle.
This is Ashtray.
And I am the fucking Teddy.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
I am.
Bitty, bitty, bitty.